Hey guys, this is John of AMC Movie Talk.
And you got your boy Ice Cube from the new movie 22 Jump Street.
And we want to remind you that his new movie opens June 13th in AMC theaters everywhere, and you can get your tickets now at amctheaters.com.
Get the tickets now, baby. It's funny. We got Jonah Hill, Channing Tatum. Look, we added a digit. It's 22 Jump Street. It's that much funnier. That means it's different than the first one. Go see the damn movie. It's at AMC, y'all.
What he said.
Hey everyone, welcome to AMC Movie Talk for movie fans. I'm your host, Ashley Mova, and this is the daily show where we give you all of the latest news from the world of movies, plus a little bit of insight into what it all means. It's Casual Friday over here at AMC, so we've got the couches out, and looking mighty comfortable over there is AMC Movie News Senior Editor, Amy Rose Eisenbach.
Greetings and salutations, friends. Back here at Casual Friday with a full panel. I really dig this environment, and our Kings are going to bring us home the cup tonight. So it's going to be a good Friday the 13th all around.
Repping the Kings is AMC Movie News Production Manager, Dennis Zan.
Yes, LA Kings, Game 5, Stanley Cup. We're taking it home tonight.
Woo!
I actually got to see Edge of Tomorrow last night. It was pretty good, and I already saw 22 Jump Street, so I'm going to see that again.
Yeah.
Also here, one half of Schmoes Know, Christian Harloff.
Go Rangers!
Oh,
yeah, what's going on? That Ice Cube clip always makes me want to dance. I don't know what it is. It's got so much energy.
Show us.
I love it. No, not right now.
And rounding out the comfy couch is AMC's very own Miri Jedikin.
I think the reason you want to dance is because he calls you baby.
That might be it. I think
He's
that's
like, watch
Yeah.
a movie, baby.
Yeah.
I'm like, yes, I will do whatever you tell me to do, Ice Cube.
And he's so funny in it.
It's awesome.
Oh, so good.
Actor Tom Hiddleston, who has become immortalized as Loki in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, will soon be putting mischief aside for a cowboy hat. He's set to play country western singer Hank Williams in Mark Abraham's I Saw the Light and will do all his own singing. Production is set to kick off in Louisiana in October. Amy Rose, are you looking forward to seeing Hiddleston as Williams?
When Hiddleston's involved in almost anything, I'm interested. He's such a dynamic actor, and sure, we love him as Loki, but everything else he's done, and a lot of people didn't see Only Lovers Left Alive. It's a very distinctive, very weird take on the vampire genre, unlike anything I've ever seen, and I loved it. And his chemistry with Tilda Swinton, I highly recommend that one. But he's just constantly doing things right for his career. He's taking these projects that are really interesting, and I mean, it's always a gamble to jump into a superhero film. It can really go in either direction, as we've seen, even if it's not your fault, if the film has a bad script or whatever. But we obviously know it's done good things for his career. But I think this is great, and I obviously am a huge music addict, and even though I'm not into country music, I obviously am still very much aware of what Hank Williams did for the genre. So I'm into it, and I'm so glad that he sings and will do it all himself, because that really bothers me. There's so many talented people that can do it all. Why do they still get people that can't sing and dub the music? I don't understand. So I think this is a brilliant move for his career, and I cannot wait to see it. What do you think, Mary?
Yeah, I'm with you. Unlike you, I actually am a country music fan. You might not know that about me, but I like old country, and Hank Williams wrote some of the most iconic songs ever. I'm So Lonesome I Could Cry, and Your Cheatin' Heart, and all that stuff. And he had a really tragic life. He died when he was like 29 or 30, and he was an alcoholic. And I think that what's wonderful about the Marvel movies for Tom Hiddleston is that they really opened the door for him to go and play these kinds of roles. And I agree with you so much that the fact that he's singing everything himself. I keep thinking of Joaquin Phoenix's performance in Walk the Line and how wonderful he was, and so much of that was because we knew he was singing also. I'm excited for this. I think it's going to be great.
What do you think, Christian?
I'd be up for Loki the musical. This is very similar to what we spoke about yesterday with Robert Downey Jr. In that you're talking about a guy who has tremendous talent, who you don't want to see him just looked at as Loki. Phenomenal in the role, and ultimately became the star of a lot of the movies. People were hoping for more Loki in every movie that he's in. So to do a movie like this, yeah, Miri's right. It opens up more possibilities for him and for the audience to see him as more than just Loki. You see what this guy can accomplish, and I definitely want to see him play Hank Williams to see, and I know that he can sing because I was at D23, which is the Disney Expo, and he broke out in tune. They asked him to sing some stuff.
Good.
It was awesome, and he likes to sing. He's another one that he wants to showcase his talents more. So yeah, all for this one.
Dennis?
Well, I'm also not a huge country music fan, but I do know he's an icon and legend in that scene. And, you know, Tom Hiddleston, I'm a fan of. I think he's a really good actor. So I'm interested in seeing him play this role. But the one thing we haven't talked about is the reaction from the country music scene. What is that going to be like? Because, you know, we get all kinds of crazy, like Henry Cavill is playing Superman. Here's this British guy. So now you have this British guy playing this iconic country music star. I think you're going to see some backlash from that scene.
I'm sure you get backlash in like people talking about it once it becomes more common knowledge. And I think that he's a guy. I feel that he's going to nail it, and you'll forget about it. You'll still have some people complaining about it, but for the most part, I think that even country fans will be happy.
And he's so respected as an actor. It'd be different if they're like, this is unconventional, but he's like in his prime right now. But
you can't use a guitar.
But you're right. There's always going to be someone that's pissed off.
Because we see it across the board in terms of like superhero movies. If someone gets cast as someone, it's not even maybe even where they're from. It's just like that person can't play this person. You know.
But here's the thing: it doesn't matter. The studios decide, and ultimately, you're right. It's going to just boil down to his performance, and I think you're so correct. I think he's going to just bring it.
He is.
I think he was amazing as Loki, and I think Loki in lesser hands would have fallen flat.
Absolutely.
He brought so much gravitas to the role and humor and mischievous, like a mischievous quality. I feel like he's great for this. He even looks like him too. I mean, they kind of look alike, so it
more
works.
Loki with a cowboy hat, whatever. We'll take it. All right, what's next, lady?
Russell Crowe and Ryan Gosling are being eyed to star in Iron Man 3 and Kiss Kiss Bang Bang director Shane Black's new noir film, The Nice Guys. Black co-wrote the story, which takes place in the 1970s and revolves around a tough enforcer and a private eye teaming up to investigate a murder conspiracy surrounding a fading porn star's suicide. Dennis, do you like how The Nice Guys is shaping up?
Oh, definitely. It sounds like a great team that are assembling. You have Shane Black, who I like. I like Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. I liked Iron Man 3, despite what the fanboys say. And then you have someone like Russell Crowe, who is in LA Confidential, which is actually one of my favorite movies ever, which is a noir film. And he played Bud White, and that was kind of his breakout role where after that movie, he was able to catapult himself into all those lead roles and led him to, you know, all these big things, and now he's an Oscar winner. Ryan Gosling, I think, is a fantastic actor. Didn't like Gangster Squad, which he was in. I thought it was a terrible movie, but I don't think that's really his fault. No. I liked him in Place Beyond the Pines, so I think the three of these guys together are going to make a good movie.
Yeah, I'm really excited about this. And I also agree with Iron Man. I know it got a lot of hate, but in terms of how it was shot and just his decisions, not talking about the character and all that, but him at the helm, I thought he did a great job. And Kiss Kiss Bang Bang is a masterpiece of a film. I absolutely love it. And I mean, Russell Crowe, he's fantastic. He had a couple films there that were questioning. I wanted him to get back to the Gladiator days, but I love him as well in this kind of role. Film noir is one of my favorite genres of film. My most prized art piece is this beautiful picture of Eva the blackmailer from
Sorry, keep going.
Yes, that excitement makes my heart warm. But yeah, I'm really excited about this one. And I mean, talent is talent. Ryan Gosling, I get some people just think he's like this golden boy, but he's got talent, drive, even though he didn't speak a lot in that film, just his body language and his energy and everything. I mean, he's got so much talent. Only God Forgets. I'm talking about all the Nicholas Winding Refn films, but I really think that this is talent, talent, talent. So I love everything going on. Christian?
Shane Black. Let's not forget Lethal Weapon and Monster Squad. He also wrote Monster Squad. A lot of people don't know that. But yeah, I'm just going to basically take a lot of what Dennis just said, is that I right away thought of LA Confidential, which is one of my favorite movies of all time. And then I thought, well, it seems, even with the enforcer and it sounds like a takeoff of it almost. And then I started thinking about Gangster Squad. I'm like, oh, maybe this is the hope I was getting with Gangster Squad. Because when that trailer for Gangster Squad came out, I said, oh, this could be another LA Confidential. Now, this movie could be one in the 70s, and I don't believe we'll be let down because of the writing of Shane Black.
Yeah, he's the best.
Taking Iron Man 3, by the way, if you look at Iron Man 3 as a Shane Black film, it's a brilliant film as a Shane Black film. And I understand why Marvel fans, as a Marvel movie, it didn't work. For me, it didn't work as a Marvel movie, but a Shane Black writing characters, the guy knows how to deliver a story.
Yeah, that's a good
I believe, and with actors of this caliber, and Gosling in this type of role, I want to see him do stuff besides this. I want to see him get away from this kind of stuff, but working with Shane Black and Russell Crowe, all right, I'll give you another one, kid. So yeah, I cannot wait to see this one.
Yeah, I'm with you all, obviously. Shane Black is one of my favorite writers, and if you actually read the script of Lethal Weapon, it's even more genius than the movie. The movie was great, but the way he writes the script is so revolutionary. When I read it, I was just blown away at how he addresses the reader, and he's a brilliant writer. I've loved almost everything he's done. I really liked Iron Man 3 for the same reasons. Obviously, you've got this dynamic duo of Russell Crowe and Ryan Gosling, who, as you mentioned, are both wonderful talents. The thing I also like about this is, you know, we're talking about LA Confidential, and we're looking at noir films that took place in LA in the 30s. This is LA in the 70s. LA in the 70s was gross. Hollywood was disgusting. The Hollywood sign was falling apart. It was seedy. It was smoggy. I think from an atmosphere standpoint, this could be an incredible noir set in a time that noirs aren't normally set in unless they were made in that era, like Chinatown or whatever.
Yeah.
This is going to be, I'm excited for this. I
Less
think it could be-
sexy, more grungy.
Yeah,
That'd be kinda cool.
I think it could be really, really great. So I'm excited for it.
Cool. So we've now reached the buy or sell portion of our show. The lovely Miss Mova, our gatekeeper for today, is going to read off a couple other items going on in the world of movie news. And my panel of judges and I are going to simply say if we buy or sell it.
Denzel Washington is returning to action in The Equalizer, which just released its first trailer. Kick-Ass star Chloe Grace Moretz also headlines. The film revolves around a man who comes out of retirement to help people in danger if the odds are stacked against them. Mary Byers sell this first trailer for The Equalizer.
I'm going to have to sell this. I'm going to sell it because as much as I like seeing Denzel doing these kinds of roles, I feel like he's done a lot of them. I'm not as huge an Antoine Fuqua fan as I know there are out there. So for me, when I see a trailer, I either have the reaction of my entire body tingles and I cry, or I'm just sort of like, yeah, okay. And with this one, I didn't really have any emotional, visceral reaction. I didn't see anything in it that jumped out at me as new or exciting. There was nothing in the story that I haven't seen before, which is okay, because all stories have been told a million times. It's just, is there a voice here that I feel I can latch onto and connect with? And I didn't really feel that here. Chloe Grace Moretz plays like the hooker with the heart of gold, which, again, is a trope we've seen a million times. And as much as I like her, and I think Denzel's great, I would like to see these actors doing, particularly Denzel, going back to like some Philadelphia, like drama, like seeing him do stuff that's maybe not action. And I know it is a return to the genre for him. I just would like to see him, you know, use those drama chops a little bit. So for me, it's a sell.
Dennis?
It's funny because this trailer, if you watch it, has all these cliches. It has
Yeah.
the badass in retirement, the young girl in trouble, the badass coming back for revenge. It even has him walking calmly away with explosions in the background. There's even a Moby Dick reference, which is always used. But for some reason, I buy it. It's like, I want to see it. It's true, he plays this role all the time, but I'm a sucker for it. So I see it, I'm like, I've seen this all before, yet I want to see it again.
I'm in the same exact camp. I'm also going to buy, and you're right, every cliche of these types of films is intact, but Denzel does this so well, and he's not been doing this for a while. I mean, I think of some of my favorite works of him in this kind of vein, Man on Fire. I mean, there's so many good ones, and I don't know, I am looking forward to it. And Chloe Grace, you're right. I mean, she's grown up. She's a beauty. She's really, I really like her as an actress, and this seems like it's going to be a little bit more of a vulnerable role for her, which is good, especially after Kick-Ass, where she was so much fun. So yeah, it is probably going to be very, very predictable. I think we can already tell you how it's going to end now, but I'm in for the good time in the movies. Christian?
I'm also going to buy it, and I'll tell you why. When you look at it, you go, "Oh, Man on Fire 2. That's what this is." It's parts of Taxi Driver. There's parts of this. There's parts of that. You see, I've seen this movie 100 times, but I said the same thing when I saw the trailer for Two Guns. And then I was like, Denzel's doing another one of these buddy things, and I love Two Guns. I thought it was a movie that I was going to think was just so generic, and it was, and in a certain case it was, but it was so much fun, and it's what Denzel Washington does as an actor. And I don't necessarily agree with that we think it's going to go exactly the way we think it's going to go. I think in the trailer, that is, but I think we can get a couple spins here. We might see something do. That's what Denzel brings to every performance that he's in. He brings something different to it. Whatever it is, he's still Denzel, and he always does his Denzel thing, and he always has the one tear that drips down. But he also delivers, and I think this team up with Fuqua, again, they're rumored to do Magnificent Seven together. So they enjoy it. It's a good team. It's like a Scorsese DiCaprio right now. So yeah, I'm on board.
Cool. What's next?
Guillermo del Toro has withdrawn from directing the live-action film Beauty, adapted from the classic Beauty and the Beast story. Harry Potter star Emma Watson is still attached to star. While he will no longer direct, del Toro is still on as a producer, and he wrote the script that will be used for the film. Christian, buy or sell Beauty without del Toro directing?
I'm going to sell it just by that much. Because when we talked about it on Movie Talk a couple weeks ago, there's two versions of this movie. They're doing the live action off Beauty and the Beast, and I don't really care to see that one. The one I was excited about was del Toro's vision of it as a director, to see what he was going to bring to it as a director. You know, he's produced a lot of things. He's produced things that I haven't necessarily liked. So I don't know how involved he's going to be. And I think the rumors are that he's going to do Pacific Rim 2. I don't know if that's the case. That's cool. But I would have liked to seen his take of what he was going to do there, and even a script. It really depends on who they bring in as a director, but as of right now, I am selling this because I was more or less excited that he was going to bring something to this tale, because he brings something new every time, and it's like, oh, that's a del Toro movie, that's so incredible, his vision, and I wanted to see that to a tale we've heard and seen a billion times.
Yeah, I'm gonna buy it, but I'm also, it's not enthusiastic at this point because Guillermo del Toro is one of my favorite directors. Pan's Labyrinth is still in my top 10 favorite films of all time, and he's such a visionary with his art form, and I'm buying it because it is his script, and I mean, I know he is one of the directors that does slap his name on a lot of things as producer, but because he was involved in this and it is still a script, I just feel like he is going to be more involved. I mean, look at Mama. He found that little clip, and I really liked it until the end. It fell apart, but tonally it was cool, and you could feel a lot of del Toro on that. And I'm just hoping for the best, but Emma Watson. She is such a phenomenal actress, and you know, she's done such a brilliant job at getting away from the Harry Potter Perks of Being a Wallflower. She was flawless in that movie, and it was so emotional. I don't even think I can watch it again because it was so heavy, but beautifully done. But I'm so excited to watch her career continue to blossom, and I think that she's going to be really good in this. And hopefully they keep the script intact, because you know he's going to add his dark, twisty spin on it, and that's the film I want to see. So it will be interesting to see who they line up to direct next. Mary?
I'm with Christian. I'm going to sell this also by a hair. I think, to your point, they could get a director in that's going to really realize the del Toro vision, like you're saying, and that would be great. But as of right now, we don't know. And I was really looking forward to seeing this classic fairy tale spun the del Toro way. And while you're right, Mama did have a lot of the del Toro-ian you know, elements and design features, I still feel like something was missing there too, because it wasn't his.
Yeah.
And I really wanted to see this movie as his, because I'm probably one of the only women on the planet that does not like Beauty and the Beast, the animated film. I just don't. I don't know why. I never did. So I was really looking forward to a Beauty and the Beast coming out that was like mine, that I could kind of feel connected to. So I'm going to sell it.
I think we should make a picture of you with your face. Does not like Beauty and the Beast.
I don't know what it is.
You have to do
with the candle and the clock just yelling at her.
Yeah. I'm sorry to everyone that loves that movie. I see why it's just not for me.
However, I'm actually with you guys. I have to sell it. I was only interested in it because del Toro was going to direct it, because we have seen this tale done a million
times.
Yeah, and I just wanted to see his take. Emma Watson's a plus, but yeah, I'm just not that interested. But however, if he actually is leaving this to go work on Pacific Rim 2, bye.
I knew you were going to say that. I knew it.
Enthusiastic buy, huh? All right, what's next?
A new viral video has been released for Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. The video chronicles the outbreak of the devastating simian flu and brings us a couple years into the future, where the few remaining are majorly struggling to survive with very little hope in sight. Amy Rose, buy or sell this viral Apes video?
Dude, this video is so good. I buy this, I buy this. They have done everything and more that I've wanted to see, from all the materials, they're releasing it like, so excited. This kind of strategy is exactly what I like to see. They did this with the General Zod Man of Steel video. I like when it's not slapped with branding all over the place. It's very clever. It's catching us up to speed about, you know, the events where we're going to jump into the story. And it was creepy and just like so set up so brilliantly well. I'm so excited for this movie. Apes on Horses is reason enough, but there's so much other epicness going on. So yeah, I just think this looks perfection. This has definitely quickly become one of my most anticipated films of the year, and I thought this was perfection in a video. What do you think, Mary?
Yeah, I've been excited for Apes since Rise came out. I've been excited for the sequel because I love that movie. I think Andy Serkis plays Caesar beautifully, and I'm a huge animal rights activist. I'm an animal lover, so I always rooted for Caesar. The thing I love about this particular teaser, viral video, whatever you want to call it, is that for the first time, it really drives home the simian flu and what devastation it wreaks on humanity. So I'm here, this animal lover that always rooted for Caesar, that's sort of like, oh wait, but I'm human. So it creates this tension, and I love that about this little teaser thing. I also love the fact that out of everything that's come out so far, this is the thing that bridges the gap between 1 and 2. This is the thing that tells us exactly what's been going on since we last checked in on Caesar and his homies. You know, now it's like, okay, so they're pretty much ruling the roost. And every time I see Caesar with the makeup, I get chills. So what I was saying before.
Do you cry though?
I did.
Okay, good.
This teaser made me get shivers and cry. So I was like, yes, I am on board by this.
I mean, anytime I get a chance to do it, Apes on Horses, Apes on Horses. This is my most anticipated movie of the summer. It has been since it was announced. What I hope I loved the video. I mean, same thing as you guys just said, so I don't want to go over that again. But what I hope that they do is that they put some of this in the film, because not everybody's watching these videos. People are just going to see the movies. So I hope that they do explain a lot of it, because you're going to have to get caught up. Like, why is this? It's 8 years later, and Gary Oldman says it in the trailers. It's been 4 years fighting the disease, 4 years fighting each other. What's been going on in that 8 years, and how do we get from cities to moss and stuff all over the place? And I want them to set it up a bit the same way they set it up in this video, which I thought they did brilliantly. Yeah. But yeah, everything that they're doing, Amy, you're right, marketing it correctly to, oh, this is developed, and just a smidget of Caesar, just that little glimpse at the very end.
So good.
That's all we needed.
Love
Dennis?
it.
Well, I'm really looking forward to the movie. I saw the latest trailer when I watched Edge of Tomorrow, and I think it's fantastic. It looks like, you know, they're going to show not just the action, but like the drama and the tension and the battle between the humans and the apes, and a lot of character development. However, I'm the total opposite of you guys on this video. Conceptually, I think it's great, but I think execution-wise, I think it's not very good. It's like a bunch of stock footage, stock pics, you know, some news clips. They threw it all together. Maybe it's because of my background.
Yeah, Mr. Producer doesn't
So
like it.
when I look at something like this, I think of, oh, it looks like someone who just took a video class was learning how to put together a class project.
But you don't think it tells a tale of what's going on in the
Yeah,
storyline?
conceptually.
Right.
But the way it's executed,
You're talking about
like,
execution.
yeah, there's no like, you know, shots of like any like apes in the background or like stuff like that. There's nothing new to it.
Yeah, but do you think that was? But I think that was kind of the point of the video, that that you just see like pictures and artwork in the back of the apes, because they're there. But we're not showing them to you in this one, because I'll show you a little bit at the end. But this is about how humans messed up. That's what this is all about. And in the production scale, that's not my brain, so I can understand if you're looking at it to where that would bother you. But I do think that everything that they put together, I like that we didn't see the apes until the very end.
And the graffiti of the ape at the end.
The gun.
See, that was the only part for me
Prepare
that
dawn.
worked.
You're like, oh my God,
I literally
I'm
got
gonna
chills
lose
as well.
my
And the
God.
cast, Gary Oldman, anything, but Kerry Russell. I'm so happy. Like, Waitress, there's so many amazing projects she's done, and I love that Matt Reeves worked on Felicity with her.
Yeah.
So finally, like, she's getting more screen time.
And
so,
Jason
Clarke.
He's awesome.
Their troupe is so awesome.
Yeah.
Adopt me. All right, guys. We have now reached mailbag. Ashley has a couple of user-submitted questions that we're going to discuss. And I do want to remind you, we are going to have a little time for a couple live questions. So be nice to that lady over there.
Jason Powley writes, my question is regarding the supposed leak of DC's Comic-Con announcement lineup. The site claims that a reliable source has leaked the lineup, which supposedly includes Batman vs. Superman: Dawn of Justice in May of 2016, but also Shazam in July and Sandman around Christmas. They also state that DC will make a Justice League in 2017 in May, as well as a July Wonder Woman movie and a Flash/Green Lantern team-up around Christmas. Do you guys believe any of this?
Nope. I just think that this is extremely overly ambitious. Look at their slate. I mean, they're not going to just... Man of Steel got them back on the map. Obviously, we still have the Dark Knight trilogy, which was phenomenal. But they've had several missteps up to this point. And we are now getting glimmers that they do have a plan for the large universe, but they would not release 3 huge movies in 1 year. The resources required for that is crazy. So I don't believe it. Would I like to see the slate? Obviously. It would be great. There's a couple other titles I would like to see that are missing, but I do think it's a great start. But if this is really true, I think it would be more spread out, because that is a lot for a studio to release, and it would become diluted as well. You don't look at what Marvel is doing. I mean, they're just, yeah. So I don't think there's truth to this, but you never know how it will shake out. So what do you think, Christian?
Can I go last? I'm curious to what, because I heard some other things about it too. I'm curious, but I mean, I'll go ahead. I just
You can go last if you want.
I would like to see what everyone says before I give my opinion.
Dennis,
that's okay.
why don't you go next?
I don't know if it's true or
Yeah.
not. I actually hope it's true. That means that WB has finally formulated a plan and decided, hey, we're actually going to put some skin in the game and risk something and try and pull off creating a universe for themselves. That way they can be, as successful maybe as Marvel. Because our biggest complaint so far is like they're always like really wishy-washy about everything. Like, we don't know if we're going to make this movie. We don't know how to make this movie. But if they actually have a plan, I'm all for it. I just don't know if it's true or not.
From zero to hero, though, it's like not having a plan and then boom, Miri, what do you think?
For me, it's less about that as it is about, because you see studios that do come out with several giant juggernaut films a year. You look at what's happening with Star Wars. I mean, they're like just ramping that up, and they're doing spin-offs and all this stuff. For me, it's more like I'll believe it when the catering trucks arrive. It's that old expression, I'll believe it when the studio makes a formal announcement. There's so much rumor. There's so much conjecture. So much of the blogosphere now is like rumor.
Yeah.
Now rumor is the new thing that people put up instead of exclusive. Like rumor. How is that a headline? I don't know. So I get that people have to report on rumors, but it is a rumor at this point. So let's kind of like hold our horses and wait and see. As much as we would love to see a slate like this.
Apes on horses?
Let's wait and see.
Or
Apes
we
on
should
horses.
do the opposite and just start rumors every day on AMC Movie Talk.
Rumor.
All right. I think it's true.
Wow.
I do. I think it's true. I think that one of the reasons, I guess, Nikki Fink was the one who wrote the story too. And if you're not familiar with her, she started Deadline, and this whole thing happened. She disappeared. She said, when I come back, I'm dropping something big.
Yeah, she said it was going to be the scoop of a lifetime.
This is the scoop of a lifetime.
Yeah, it's pretty big.
And it also, I don't know, it's also in my 24 brain, I'm going, maybe there was a mole that was put in Marvel, and Marvel wanted this to be leaked, and now DC is going to be scattering they're going to be scattering at Comic-Con, because now all their plans, what happens at their Comic-Con panel now? Yeah. But, I do think that Warner Brothers has a lot of money. They're franchises that have made tons of films. They have a lot of cash to do this type of slate.
Yeah.
And they need to do something that is going to catch up with Marvel quick. So putting out 2 to 3 films a year, it's going to congest it. There's no doubt about that. But it makes sense if they want to catch up. So doing something like Shazam, which is a character that not a lot of people are super familiar with, and there's been rumors that The Rock has been circulating around that character. That could happen. Then Justice League. Then announcing a Man of Steel 2 sequel.
Yeah, right.
And a Wonder Woman movie. There's this stuff. And a Flash movie. I just, there's something in me that, and you guys could all be looking at me and going, huh, stupid, you believe that, but I truly do believe it.
It's not that we feel you're stupid for believing that, it's that they've played with our hearts so much that I'm not going to jump on the, it's got to be true. It's kind of like The Boy Who Cried Wolf at this point. Yeah. Like, I'm with you. Once they release a formal thing, I've always been under the assumption that if I hear from the director, the studio, someone actually involved, that it's real. But if it's just, but you're right on the Nikki front, because she's had quite an intense career, and
she's dropped a lot of scoops.
She has.
She's dropped some.
And do you think she would just risk it on that?
That's what I'm saying. She comes back. She hasn't been in the spotlight in a while, and then she comes back and she gives you one. She's like, "Oh no, that was just kind of shot in the dark."
Yeah.
No, that's not what you do if you want to restart your site.
Definitely a good point.
I hope it's true, but cautious optimism for now. And Sandman, that's another title that people don't know too much about. And Joseph Gordon-Levitt, that's going to be great. So, okay, we could talk about this one for a while, but what's next?
Sean Will writes, which actor who is notoriously known to play a good guy would you like to see play more villainous roles? And vice versa, villain playing a good guy.
Now, Christian, I saw you kind of perk up a little bit. I'm going to start with you on this one.
Yeah, I have a list. I think heroes to villains was the easier one. I think there's a lot of people who've played good guys, and there's a lot of times that we could think that we want to play villains. So I'm sorry if I steal some of your
You probably
guys'
will.
things. I probably will.
List.
So I'll just list the ones that I like to see, heroes that play villains. I like to see Joseph Gordon-Levitt play a hardcore villain. Channing Tatum, I know he did one in Guide to Recognizing Your Saints, but I'd like to see him do something more. Andrew Garfield, Emily Blunt, Brad Pitt, Chris Pine, Paul Rudd, Shailene Woodley, Jennifer Lawrence, Adam Sandler, and Tom Hanks are the ones that
Tom Hanks was that was one of mine.
Yeah, Tom Hanks was mine.
Yeah, sorry.
And Channing Tatum too.
Tatum. So
Still 2 of mine.
And then villains to heroes. I know that Mickey Rourke has done here. He's doing like Sin City, but I'd like to see him play someone like a little bit more vanilla. Just I know that's not
Like
that
truly
exciting.
good in his core, not like a bad
like the
guy
wrestler
turned good,
or
yeah.
damaged. Ray Winstone, who's
a great call.
Charlotte Copley, Mark Strong. Peter Stormare, who we just talked about the other day, and Gary Oldman. I'd like to see play. I know he's done Harry Potter and stuff too, but I'd like to see him play.
Well, he was also.
I know he's Gordon as well too.
Yeah. Yeah, I like this question a lot. The first name, obviously, from bad to good that I thought of was Mark Strong. He's done other types, but he's so good at the villainous mobster guy that's what he's been kind of typecast as, and I would like to see him play like a softer, more vulnerable role. And this is totally unconventional for good to bad, but I was just thinking, you know, with our Pats taking such good step with his career, doing these indies, getting out of the Twilight kind of hole. I think Kristen Stewart taking a villainous role would be a really good move for her career. And I've never seen anything. She's always the same, you know, brushing her hair back. And I do think she has talent, but I think that the careers, I mean, I really like some of the Adventureland, like she has some good ones under her belt, but I think to really play a villain or an assassin or something cool and dark would be really cool, because that's literally been nothing we've seen of hers to date. So. Dennis?
Well, mine was Tom Hanks in terms of heroes being villains, but I'm not talking like, ooh, he's just a villain in a movie. I'm talking dark, like murderer.
Well, Road to Perdition
was the one.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm talking darker than that.
Yeah.
Like Tom Hardy and Bronson.
He was like an elegant killer.
But he was
like crazy, like terrifying.
Shaved head.
I'm scared of Tom Hanks. And I know he can do it.
The only time we saw him be kind of a bad guy, which isn't really a bad guy, was in Cloud Atlas, that one British writer where he takes the guy and throws him off. Sorry, spoiler, but it's been a long time. But he kind of plays a bad guy, but that's like 6 minutes, and it's not really a character that drives the whole film. For me, Channing Tatum was actually the first one that I thought of in terms of good guy going bad, just because he's surprised us so much. You know, everybody has this idea of what he is, or did have an idea of what he was. And then he did 21 Jump Street, and we saw that he could do comedy, and then he did Side Effects, and we saw that he could do drama, and we saw him doing a lot of different things. I would really like to see him play a really, really bad guy, just to see if he can do it. And you know, this question made me think of, really, who are the actors I just want to see more of? Because any great actor is going to do one or the other. Like Tom Hardy or Matthew McConaughey, I want to see these people just continue choosing roles where they do have to pick good or bad and do both.
It would be kind of cool to see his 22 co-star Jonah Hill do something evil as well.
Well, he was kind of evil in This Is the End.
Even Wolf of Wall Street, he was kind of despicable.
Really count that.
Wolf of Wall Street is pretty despicable.
He was despicable, but not evil. He was
but
just
he's
gross.
not the villain.
He was gross. I want to see him be like assassin killer. When I think evil, I think of like take no mercy. Like I want No Country for Old Men status, you know? So I like that question a lot. All right, so we said we had a couple minutes left for live viewer questions. So Ashley, what do you pick out for today?
Hector J writes, if you could hang out with any character from any movie, who would it be? I would hang out with Darth Vader and Spider-Man.
I got it. I know what I would. Ferris Bueller.
Yeah, that's a good one.
For sure. 100%.
I'm going Rodney Dangerfield from Caddyshack.
Yes!
Oh my God.
Bravo!
I would absolutely want to golf. You wouldn't be golfing the whole time. You'd just be partying. It'd be great.
I would also say, like Bill Murray in probably 7 or 8 of his films. I just want to hang out with Bill. Can I just hang out with Bill Murray?
I pretty much just want to be with that whole crew. Bill Murray, John Goodman. I'd like to be with the dude for a day as well.
Yes.
Just like that whole
Very relaxed
crew.
day.
Very relaxed day. I'm going to lay by the pool.
Lots of White
and
Russians.
Drink White Russians, exactly.
I can't think of anyone off the top of my head, but I don't know why you would hang out with Darth Vader, though.
No, that's dark, man.
That's a bad trip.
Right.
That's dark.
Maybe because he's got a cool helmet.
Ryan Healy writes, what's your favorite role by an individual who, for the most part, was not a working actor?
What?
I mean,
hard.
look, if you wanted to say, Jared Leto had 5 years off of when he did Dallas Buyers Club, but I mean,
But he was acting
still,
before that.
The one that comes to mind for me is the most recent with Barkhad Abdi. I don't know if I'm
yeah.
saying his
Okay,
name
yeah,
properly. I mean,
good,
he was a taxi driver or a limo driver
Yeah.
from Somalia, and he just nailed that part. I mean, he was.
He was great. I'll tell you the other guy. I don't know his name, but he played the father in Joe. that just came
yeah.
out, and he played a homeless guy. He was homeless, and then he passed away. But the guy, he was, I mean,
That was intense.
It was intense.
Like,
and
I thought they just pulled him off the street.
they did.
Like, it felt that way.
They
It
did,
was very real.
And to be able to be pulled off the street like that and be able to work and do that
Yeah.
performance, you know, that was probably the one.
A random one just popped in my head. Up in the Air, remember Reitman when he had the people that were actually laid off come in and be in scenes.
And they were real people that were
real
laid off,
people,
right?
and it was really emotional. And I couldn't tell like who was acting and who was like actually affected by that. So I thought that was a really cool.
Shyamalan and Lady in the Water. No, I'm just
Oh
kidding.
wow! Wow!
I kid.
I would go with Sharlto Copley in District 9.
Oh,
he
yeah.
wasn't really an
Good
actor.
one.
He was
Well
the producer for Neil Blomkamp, and
Yeah.
I'm sure he did little things, but he was not a working actor, and he delivered a fantastic performance.
Look at him, yeah.
She's
yeah,
great.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, let's do one more good one.
Okay, Kobe Lee Bean writes, which is the better James Cameron film, Titanic or Avatar? I say Titanic.
That's actually a pretty good versus topic.
That's
Just
a
kidding.
great versus topic.
That one's easy for me.
Yeah, it's easy for me.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, because what Titanic did for cinema at the time was huge, and then Avatar did that again with special effects and everything. But Avatar, story-wise, ripped off so many other things, and so visually is where I love it. But story-wise, I'm like, this is Ferngully Lost Rainforest, and you know.
I love
Dances with
Ferngully.
Wolves. Me
I don't
too.
care. I'll see Ferngully.
I love
a
it
million
too, but
ways
it
from
feels like a
Sunday.
rip-off. But what Titanic did at the time, I would go Titanic because it was taking a historical event and making it more tangible for the audience. What do you think, Christian?
Everyone hates Avatar. I don't. I
don't hate it.
I
a
loved
lot of people
Avatar.
hate it. A lot of people think that, again, that it's a ripoff, and that I actually really enjoy the film, and I can watch it every time it's on TV. I know I'm in the minority. I would pick it. I do love Titanic as well too. But I would say I would keep Avatar for what it did visually. It was just an experience to this day watching that movie in the theater.
Gorgeous.
Yeah. It's tough because in Titanic he paid such close attention to detail. Like all the dishes were accurate. Everything was period accurate and accurate to the boat. So for that, like the production nerd in me loves that, and I'm sure you love that too. But for me, Avatar is the winner by a margin only because, and people criticize the movie for this, it has a very baseline story, it's very basic, but it also reaches the biggest amount of people, and I think that was very intentional on James Cameron's part. He wanted to tell a story that people could relate to no matter what their culture or background, and visually, you're right, I mean, the ground that he broke in visual effects with that film, and he did the same with Titanic with the deep sea cameras and all that, but I just loved it when I saw it. It was magic for me, so I say Avatar.
Well, this one's easy for me because I'm a huge James Cameron fan. I like almost all his movies. Titanic is the one that I don't really care for. I like the last 30 minutes when the ship's breaking apart.
Yeah.
That's awesome, but the actual story in it, I didn't like it. Some of the dialogue. I mean, James Cameron's not the best at dialogue, but Avatar to me, I think it's kind of like in now to bash Avatar.
Yeah.
I really like it. I can also watch it all the time. And the storyline, yes, we've seen it before, and it is very simple, but there is like a nice message with it about about people being together and connected with not just themselves, but with the Earth or whatever,
care of
the
Earth, yeah.
Pandora. But what he's really saying is about Earth and taking care of it. And so for that, I think Avatar by a mile.
Yeah, I definitely didn't hate it. I do think a lot of people are like, that's so overrated, and now we're gonna get 3 more of them. But that's James Cameron. Like Terminator, everything he's done, it constantly raises the bar.
Yeah.
So that really was a good question. Thank you for that. All right, guys, we're all out of time. Thank you so much for joining us on this fun, casual Friday. I'm gonna thank Christian Harloff to my right. Where can people find you?
You guys can find me here on YouTube, Schmoes Know, and we actually put up a show today, and we talked a lot about that DC slate. So if you want to check that out, go on over there.
I would like to thank Mary Jetikin. Where can people find you?
You can find me anywhere online, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, at Miri the Jedi.
I love that. It's pretty awesome.
Thank you.
I would like to thank Dennis Sang. Where can people find you?
You guys can find me on Twitter at ThinkHero or on YouTube, ThinkHero Pro.
Our lovely host and gatekeeper for today, Ashley Mova. Where can people find you?
You guys can find me on Twitter at Ashley Mova. Happy Friday the 13th, guys. Whoa.
I always look forward to that little voice that comes out, actually. And I'm Amy Rose with AMC Movie News. Our fearless leader, Captain Canada, is on a boat right now, but he'll be back Monday. And thank you so much for joining us. Have a wonderful weekend. Like us, share us. You know the deal. We really appreciate your support. Thanks again. We'll see you Monday. Bye-bye.
Hey everyone, if you like this video, click that thumbs up button and make sure to subscribe to our AMC Movie News YouTube channel. It's free and helps you stay up to date with all the latest movie news, as well as our daily AMC Movie Talk show. Also, make sure that you follow us on Facebook and Twitter to stay up to date with all of our special promotions, contests, and prize giveaways.